after I got married and then I came again, it was really a nice experience because I had all these dreams of, being with my husband, and then we had plans for me to do an MBA. So it was really a nice experience just to know that I was going to, be with my dream man and, achieve my dreams and improve myself, and in one of the greatest countries in the world. So to me, I was flying into my dream at that time. Before I came to Sarah's, it was like going down a deep, dark hole, an abyss. When I was in my marriage, going through it's not just me, because I fell under what you call the Violence Against Women's Act, and so emotionally, physically, financially, in every way, it was abuse, and it was hell. I didn't think that this dream I was dreaming of, it became a nightmare. It was a horrible nightmare, and I lived that nightmare for about 5 years. So I did not know what to do. And then people were advising me, and then I had to actually run away. And I ended up at a shelter. And at that time, that shelter was a palace for me because I had run away from a monster. I also realized I had to run away I had to go away because I had come to the point of, to such a bad point that I was thinking that, suicide was normal. There was deep inside me a wisdom that said that's not, and I knew I had fallen down to that level and I had to get away. But I had nobody in the United States. I have no family, I have no relatives, and I had no money at all. And he was supposed to apply for my green card. That's what normal, regular people do when they get married. He didn't do that for me so that he can control me. So I had no legal status, which meant I couldn't work full time. I was not going to be legal in my situation. That scared me. So whatever I worked went for my schooling, because he stopped helping me with the schooling, which he promised that he would do. So I really had nothing, just absolutely nothing. When you have no money, no family, no friends, no legal status, it's just nothing. And then I was taken to this shelter, and in a shelter they have to, I think, if you are in Hennepin County, you have to take people in if they call or they're in abusive condition or whatever. And then also you have no privacy because your bed and your clothes and everything is outside. There's absolutely no privacy. So it was a safe haven from the hell that I was, but there was no peace. I'm very grateful for them. But the point is, it's a shelter. Sarah's is not a shelter. Sarah's is a home. After 6 months, they said that I had to move. That seemed to be how it works there, because they said it's government funded or something like that. And I said I don't have a place to go, and actually it is they who found Sarah's for me. So it's not that they pushed me onto the road. When I came here for an interview, and I think that interview is really good too, because the nice thing about Sarah's is I think they screen who you take in, and so like people who take alcohol and people who smoke, you're not allowed to do that, and if you're kind of addicted or you do that, then you can't get into Sarah's, which is really, really important, because those are the things that help to keep this place decent and peaceful. And so I was really happy when Sister Maggie told me this. And then they took me on a tour, and as soon as I went around Sarah's, I knew the transport didn't matter to me. I knew like I had to move in, because it just gave me so much peace, so much comfort, and it's just very welcoming. And that initial, that's really important, that when you're scared and just so absolutely scared, and you're scared to take the next step because, a step you took put you down in hell, you're just scared of the next step to take. When I came for that dinner and I saw the other women and how they socialized together, that community aspect, all that was very comforting to me, because I'm not also used to living alone. Till I got married, I was with my grandmother and my uncle, and in our culture, we don't really move out. Even if you're like 50 and not married, you stay with family. So when I saw these women, and then they were like me also, young, goal-oriented, and nervous, and wanting families. So it was just very comforting. It was great. You experience people who are so different. You can look at somebody and you realize like how different they are. One of the nicest experience is how this other woman, she was talking to me in English and I am talking to her in English, but I am having my accent and she's having her accent, and we are still not understanding each other, because of the accents. And we can be so different in dress, in certain cultural aspects, in the music, but with that diversity and maybe the food you eat, you come to realize human beings and this earth is one big home, because there's so much of similarities. Like all of us want love, all of us want peace, all of us want security. And that is just common. And when you have that commonality where we all want to love and be loved, and that is something that's highlighted at Sarah's, peace, love, goals. Everyone has a goal, everyone is working, everyone is reaching. And so that's common, and that bonds us and that binds us. And then with that bond, you also experience the spice of life, the difference, the different cultures. It's interesting to go to the kitchen where everybody is cooking and see how somebody's, I'm cooking the potato in one way and she's cooking it in another way, and then her one looks tasty and I'm like, oh wow, that looks tasty, how did you cook it? And then we share the food. So that's really great. It's not a shelter. It provides shelter and peace and comfort and food, but most of all, it is a home. It is a home where you have sisters all around you. Sometimes when you're scared, just to know I can speak to Cheryl, I can run to Hillary. It's a comfort, because when you're from another country and another culture, and we have to remember that most of the women who are here are from third world countries. People don't know what to wear, how to talk at an interview, they don't know the bus systems and all the other services the United States has, and then you're scared. But at Sarah's, you have that comfort of just knowing you can run to Cheryl or you can run to Hillary, and they're always there, and that they're kind and you're not scared to run to them. So it is a home. And another reason it's home is because you have really good food. I thank God every night for the food that we eat. We try to eat natural food, we try to cook it in a very healthy manner, and some of our cultures have frying and stuff like that, which is not very healthy. And then Sarah advises us on health aspects. So that is home. When you're protected, that's home. And then when it's clean, and then you have your own room, it's your peace heaven. So it's just, sometimes it's better than a home. To me, this is heaven. Like they say, sometimes heaven is a place on earth. That's what Sarah's is. I mean, it's made a world of difference, because if I take myself out of Sarah's and put myself back into the position I was, I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I have achieved now. I mean, like I said before, when I left my husband, I had no legal status. Economically, I had nothing. I had no relatives, I had no friends, I had nobody I could depend on. But if I take myself now, I have friends because I have sisters at Sarah's. I have people like Cheryl, Hillary, Sister Maggie who has left us, but all those people you could 100% depend on, know that they will advise you well, and if they don't know something, they'll direct you to the right place. That's important. And so with all that, I have achieved my goals. Like now I am a registered RA. Now I would have not been able to go through that tough program. Everybody knows how tough it is to study for an RN program. My colleagues, they stopped working and they stayed at home and they studied. And at Sarah's, I had that peace. I didn't have the luxury of being able to stop work because I had to work a lot to pay for my fees. But if I came home at 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock in the night, taking 2 buses, 3 buses, I knew that from that stressed environment, I stepped into peace. If you put the effort, as an individual, there's a lot you have to do, but if you do what you have to do, at Sarah's, there's nothing you cannot achieve. I graduated as an RN, and then recently I also passed my board exams, which is another huge step. When you graduate, they just highlight how difficult the board exams are. And then I passed that also, all staying at Sarah's. And I got my divorce done, I got my immigration, I got my green card, all staying at Sarah's. So my biggest advice to anybody is, as long as you put the 100% effort you have to at Sarah's, you can achieve anything. To me, the biggest help was with my housing, because I'm always thinking, oh my gosh, now when I have to go away from Sarah's, like where do I go, how do I go? And I was really nervous about it. And then I got referrals to housing. So housing was a really great connection for me. And I know even things like something small like the bus card. We get the bus card. I bus wherever I go, I bus it. And there was a time within like 2 weeks I spent almost like $100, and that was a lot for me. But now Sarah has organized the bus card. We get it at a very reasonable price. I think we pay like $42.50, and you can use it for the whole month, which is great. And I know that other women have got help with learning English, jobs, housing, medical. Whatever you need to put your life in order and to move on, you will get a referral and you will get help, and you just have to take that help and move on. And even the small little things, like we do interesting little things like knitting and drumming. Sarah's is not just about being strict and stern, it's about love and warmth. And so they'll organize Christmas parties for us, which makes us feel really happy and at home. And in this home, like any other nice home, there is love. And one of the most important things about that love, or how we feel love, the first way we would feel love is when we feel that we can run to the director or the associate director or the housekeeper when you're nervous, when you're scared, when you don't know about something. Sometimes I feel like lonely and very sad. Like sometimes there's this horrible pang of sadness that hits you, because sometimes you are all the time trying to be strong and brave and goal-oriented, but at the end of the day, you're human, you feel things, and all of a sudden it dawns on you that you have no family or you don't have anyone close, and then you want to run to somebody. And at Sarah's, I have done that many, many times. I would just go on. Sometimes I don't even knock. I just look in and I'll say, Cheryl. It has always been, she'll turn around and she'll say, oh, hello, and always with a smile, hello. And I'll say, Cheryl, do you have a minute for me? And she'll say, yes, of course, come in. And most of the time we'll talk about something, and then it'll extend, because that's another thing, they don't make you feel rushed. You need to say what you have to say and get out, kind of thing. And they'll always give you a hug. And that, I think, is very important, just when you have nobody, just to know. And I think that's the main reason way we experience the love. In that sense, with Sister Maggie or Cheryl or Hillary, I've always experienced that love and comfort, and I'll never forget them. They have like a special place in my heart. Like any day, even when I'm dying, I'll remember those people, because now they're family. I think what I will remember is my experience here at Sarah's. I came here at a difficult time, and at a time that I would call that I had fallen down. That's the situation that I came in. But I know that in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or when I'm really old and I'm thinking back on my life, I actually, even right now, am grateful that I experienced Sarah's, because I think I have grown as a human being, and I have also experienced diversity in a really nice way. The different women, sometimes it's just really enjoyable to go to the dining room or to the kitchen, because all these women are peaceful, they're all very loving. Sometimes I'll go and I'm so stressed, I'll just open the fridge, get something, and one of the women will say, hi Renuka, why are you not saying hi? And it's just so sweet, because they want to greet you, they want to talk to you, and sometimes their smile just takes away that stress. I experienced diversity, which is really nice, and I experienced many women and their different ways. All that is really nice to have, because sometimes when you have not experienced all that and you grow up in just your own world, your personality doesn't develop. You're used to you and your type of people and your own world, and my mother calls that being a frog in a well. But when you are in a place like this, you just learn to be very fluid. You can talk easily with people, you can understand people easily, you learn to love people easily, and you just realize that with all the difference, there is great commonality. And my mother used to say, you can't travel the world if you don't know English. And I totally agree with her, and I like to tell her now, you cannot travel the world if you don't know love. You have to have that in order to be able to truly communicate and connect with people. And I knew that, but I experienced that at Sarah's. So I think that is a great lesson, it's wisdom, and I'll always carry that with me. If you put the effort as an individual, there's a lot you have to do, but if you do what you have to do, at Sarah's, there's nothing you cannot achieve.